Working on Miss Rebecca's car today. She's complaining that the AC is not working, so we're going to diagnose it. Pretty sure we have a leak of Freon, and get her charged up, find the leak, and try to get it fixed for her. Started the car up and have the AC blowing at max, and it's been running for a few minutes. It's only showing 80 degrees. This is a Hyundai Sonata, but we need to get that thing to be cooling about 30 degrees from ambient outside temperature, which is about 85 right now. I'm gonna go ahead and hook up my gauges. Red goes to high side, blue to low side. And then I'm going to go ahead and open my valves up. And this one sounds like it's loose there. Alright, gauges are reading a little bit low. They should be up about 85, about the same as outside temperature. So we're low on Freon. We'll go ahead and add a little bit of Freon to it and see if we have a leak. Got a can of Freon here. Hook it up to my gauges and put the Freon in on the cold side, or on the low pressure side. To break the seal, just gotta crank that down. That'll pop a hole in the top of the can. Alright, then back it out so it can feed up into the gauges. Alright. Now what I'm gonna do is purge the air out of that line, any regular ambient air. Get it out and make sure there's Freon coming up here. And I just like to get a little bit out. Right, now I'm going to open just my low pressure so that it will feed the Freon into the low pressure side. I'm going to start the car up on max AC, and that way it's going to suck it in, because right now the pressure's on the same on each one. I need to lower the pressure on the low side, that way it sucks in the Freon. Heard the compressor cut on. You can see now it's pulling down, and what I'm looking for is it to come down to about 35, but what's going to do is it's going to pull down past because it's low right now. So between this and our temperature inside the car, we'll manage when we're going to cut off the Freon. It's only been about a minute and it's already dropped 10 degrees inside the car. When it gets down to about 50 degrees, I'll cut the Freon off and let it stabilize and see if it's got the proper pressures. Right now this is low because the Freon is still low, and you see the high side still low. I want it to come up to about 35, maybe 40, and come up a little bit about 200. And then we'll cut the Freon off, let it stabilize, and see what temperature we're at. inside temperature right now is down to 50. Gauges are at 35 and about almost 175. I'm gonna let it take a little bit more Freon, then I'm gonna cut it off. And the reason I'm gonna do that is because I don't want it to overcharge. If it overcharged, it's not gonna cool just like if it was undercharged. I only had 1 can of Freon and it took the whole thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut the gauges off. The pressures look pretty good. Let's see what it looks like inside. Alright, I'm going to rev it up a little bit, get the AC compressor working. Alright, we're about 43 degrees or something like that, looks like. It's hard to tell, it's kind of dark. But now it's down to 40. But obviously we have a leak in the system, so we got to find that leak. I'm gonna disconnect my AC gauges, but before I do, I'm just gonna let the pressure maintain, or let the pressure balance out. You can see low side's going up, high side's going down. That way there's not a lot of pressure on the high side when I go to release it. To look for a leak in the AC system, I'm gonna use a black light and my glasses. This light battery's dead, so I got another one. But there should be some dye in the system, and using the black light, you'll be able to see the leak in the AC system. Now I'm on to looking for the leak. The way I start looking for a leak is just go around all the AC components. Condenser, all the lines, compressor, and if there's a leak, more than likely there's going to be dirt stuck to it. So looking at the condenser, I don't see anything. And looking at the lines going to the evaporator look good. And then coming up here, all these lines look good. But down on the compressor, I noticed some dirt stuck to the compressor down there. When using my black light, I try to get all outside light off so that I can actually see the best I can with the black light. And with the black light and my glasses on, I can see that there's some dye, and it just looks fluorescent. You won't be able to see it on here. So I found one leak on the compressor, and I think it's just going to be an O-ring, but I can't bleed the system out here. I'm gonna have to do that at a shop and then fix the O-ring and see if that's the only problem. It may be a compressor. Another thing is the evaporator can be hard to diagnose as a leak sometimes. You want to make sure that there's dye in the system, and a good way to check it is let the system run with the dye in it, and it's going to leak through the water tube. It's going to have the water dripping out of there, and that water is going to have residue of the dye if it has a leak. So you can get your black light, shine the black light up there on the tube, and if there's dye residue on there, you'll get your indication from your black light. So that's the best way to check the evaporator without having to pull the dash or anything like that. But for now, we're going to go ahead and take it to the shop, let them pull the AC down for us, and then we'll do the O-ring, and I have all the equipment to recharge it, so we won't have to take it back to the shop for that. And for now, she's got cold AC until it leaks all out again.